Hey, hey everyone, it is Jane with the Let's Get Loud podcast. Hi, Alicia.
Hi. Hi,
So
Jose.
interesting. I don't know if my phone heard us, but like the first post that came up is the freaking documentary of Alex Cooper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like this came up the minute I opened my Instagram because I wanted to see where our viral video was at. But anyways, she's gorgeous and her husband is yummy. Definitely my type.
Um, I was listening to a podcast with her, but who was she
Okay.
interviewing? She was interviewing Ed Sheeran, but
Oh,
anyway, she was also Ed Sheeran we love, and he was like
love.
almost interviewing her as well. Anyways, he's like such a cool guy. But he was talking about like what was plan A and what was plan B kind of thing, like
Okay.
for your
Okay. Okay.
careers. And she was like, there was no plan B.
Right.
And like he kind of said the same thing. And he said, like, I had this one moment where I was like, went to a gig and he had like records in his bag and he like
So
didn't
cool.
sell any. And then the train station was shut on the way home. He ended up sleeping in the train station that night. And how he could have been like, I guess, like that could have been the moment where he was like, do you know what? Never mind. But
Yeah.
there wasn't a plan B for him. And it's almost like, did they create what they created because of like chance, or did they create what they created because there was no plan B?
Oh, I think it's like, oh yeah, no, I like that. And I feel like we can connect those things like with our success with weight loss and like because I'm like when people are like, "Oh, I still remember that. I still remember this one particular woman who like lost weight, gains weight, lost weight, lost weight." And like at the beginning. Right now it's like people forget that we were overweight because it's been such a long time, but like at the beginning. And I remember I was like 5 years in, I had lost my 70 pounds and whatever and she's like, "Oh, like you didn't, you didn't gain it all back, huh?" And I was like, "No, like I'm keeping it off." And even if I had so much healing to do and like I'm not the same person as that time, at that time, what I was doing made sense to me and like whatever. And she was like, "Oh, like for me." And then it was like life happened or, this and this and this. And I thought like there was there was no other option for me. Like it's not another option for me to gain 70 pounds back. Like I cannot wrap my head around that. Like that's not, yeah. And like, it's not that we're special. I'm just saying like, and I look at them and I'm like, holy shit, like you really need to be in it to say, there's no other option. Like you have to be really confident in what you're doing and whatever. So good for them, but also good for us. We were very confident that this is what we wanted. It just felt so, we were ready for it,
But
and
it's
it was at
it's the
different times.
same. It's like the connection between it's not that it wasn't hard. It's
Yeah.
not that there weren't times where we
Where
doubted
Yeah.
our and it what there it's not that there wasn't times where life also happened to us.
Yeah.
Like the con like it just I do stay connected to this regardless. Again, we talked about this on our last podcast. We need
Mhm.
to break it all down to what people
Yeah.
feel like this needs to look like.
Yeah.
Because if you think that life happening is not existing with this, you're completely doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like completely doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is your life.
Yeah. No, exactly. And when, we talked about this last podcast, when someone like gets on the scale and they're like, if I gain weight, I'm quitting. And I'm like, quitting what? Like, I never understood when people were like talking that way. I'm like, quitting what? Like, we have to wake up tomorrow morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because then I'm like, oh, this, like, when I saw people do that with their weigh in, like, guys, imagine the amount of words we've exchanged with people on the scale, like just the things we've seen, the people that have cried, the people that have like were surprised, the people like we have so many so much experience, years of experience of looking at women getting on a scale at a certain time and just their responses to it and the words that came out of their mouth or their thoughts or whatever. And like that's where we've learned so much through those first few years of like, well, shit, like these, like we are like that. We're so, and I'm like, I couldn't relate to some of the things because I'm like, well, tomorrow you still have to continue because we're doing life. And that's where I realized like that whole like getting on separating weight loss from your everyday and just like waiting for a result and ultimately like them getting no's like Alex Cooper and Sheeran and having like no, that song sucks or you can't sing or you know what I mean. That's for in a very simple way, that's weight gain while on a weight loss journey. Weight gain while on a weight loss journey is failure to the goal, but it's not. It's like everyone that said no to Ed Sheeran, it wasn't a failure to his goal to be a superstar. Like it just was a part of the process to become a superstar. And so it happens to everyone. Like him becoming a superstar wasn't like, yes, you're amazing. Yes, 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 everything. Yes. Like there was moments where he said, like, I could not sing. Um,
Yeah.
I listened to that podcast as well. Um, but yeah, no, she's doing things. She also posted, I loved it. She talked about not really wanting to have children right now.
Yeah.
So she was like being honest with that. And she also, I loved it. She also like talked about like Matt when she met her now husband. He was like, yeah, yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm cool with what you're talking about. And then he wasn't cool with what, like this
Right.
girl was like,
Oh yeah.
oh wow. Like, you know how like I needed like personally, if I'm being vulnerable, like Jeff, I needed to tone down some of the things I was sharing about my marriage. And it's not even 100th of what this girl shared about her relationship with her husband. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it's next level. So she said, did you listen to that one where she said that he called her and he's like, Alex, she said, this is when I knew it was not good. So he was coming over to visit her. She's like, hi, Matt. Oh, she's like, I'm all giddy. I'm like, oh my God, like this guy, I really like him. She had just posted the details. And when I say details, like he ate, like just everything about like how he was giving head to her, like just every detail about their sex that they had. And so he calls her and he's like, Alex, what did you do? And she's like, what do you mean? She had just posted it and his dad called him because he had like Googled this new girl of his son. So he's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to like, and she could have been like, this is who I am. And that's the part that I find hard because like that was so relatable from her. Like just the way she was so honest and calling out.
That's how she got famous.
Yeah, she was just calling out everyone she was sleeping with and like everything they did. It was just like
Yeah.
so graphic, you
It
guys.
was before she was in a relationship with him that she became like super famous. And
Yeah.
when they first started dating, I'm pretty sure she didn't really even say who he was. Like I think it was quite
No, he was
secret.
called Sexy Zoom Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she didn't like no one knew his name, but like so it became an issue. So she started talking about that. But then they
Okay.
realized they haven't gotten pregnant yet. And she's like, I'm busy. I'm busy.
Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah,
Things are
yeah.
different.
Uh,
She's building a
yeah. And I like that she's recognizing that she's busy. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? She's not getting caught up, but like looking at her personality, she's not someone that's getting caught up in what society wants women to do, though.
No.
No. Anyways, it's good.
No.
Okay, speaking of Instagram, so I was going on Instagram to check out our
Our viral reel, our
vibe.
guys.
Okay, did you expect this from that video?
I mean, no, but like I also was like, let's make this real. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
But
I
like we
had
made
that
multiple. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like that. Like if I would have known it, we would have been better.
I'd sing.
You know what I
Same.
mean? Like listen, like it wasn't that.
But no, but it's so funny because I again in my head I was like, oh, we could have done this, this, and this, and I'm like, but maybe that wouldn't have gone viral if we did it like this, and this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe it's viral because it's so bad, so raw.
Maybe it's so raw and like the fact that I left like us getting ready for it at the beginning.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, let's
Yes.
just like make it extra funny for the people that know us. Like for me, it was like make it extra funny for the people that know us so
Yeah.
that they realize we don't know what we're doing. I didn't want to
Yeah.
start right to the mom talk because I'm like, let's make it extra funny. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So we made this reel, you guys, and it's like at it was viewed over 500,000 times. For me, it started to be like that little arrow of like
Yeah.
sharing. I'm like, by the end of Saturday, I'm like, guys, like it's been shared 100 times. Like that's a lot. Like we know what is a lot of shares.
Yeah.
So it's at 21,000 shares,
Like just that is insane. It's at
18,000
626.
likes,
Yeah.
18,000 like hearts.
It's insane. I saw it going and I saw it happening and I was like, all right, let's do this. So I've been responding to every comment to just keep that machine going. Let's go.
Oh
Let's
my
do this.
God. It's
Uh,
so good.
it's funny though, we did get like basically there was only two negative comments so far.
1 million good ones. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, one was about our Birkenstocks, which isn't it so funny because for me, I'm like, well, obviously that's what we're wearing, like, and like flip-flops, but
Yeah.
these people maybe are not from the East Coast, and maybe that's not regular footwear.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, I want to join you guys. Like, you guys seem fun." And it was a good night. That was a good night for sure. And then we got one negative where what did she say, Alish?
Okay, it was so good. It's so good. I mean, it's I'm gonna read it to you guys. But I just think it's an opportunity to have a
Yeah,
conversation.
I agree.
So, she says, great seeing women that have nothing better to do than wear wigs while husbands work all day long.
That's
Wow.
so funny. First of all, it's a Friday at 7 p.m. Calm down.
I
I don't
know.
even know what time it is.
No.
And so
Like
that's
we
the thing, right? Obviously, the other like beautiful, like the mom talk people, the Mormons, like they're just like gorgeous. And it's like they say out loud they're stay-at-home moms and they whatever, which is fine. Stay-at-home moms work hard. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I'm like, you know nothing. We're just a bunch of like people that barely made it to the Friday night thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Oh my God. Do you know what it took? I almost been like, do you know what it took for
for
me
for
to
all of
go
us. Yeah.
and spend 20 hours with my friends? Like, do you know
Yeah.
how hard that was for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I need to
Agreed.
go back to the stay-at-home mom talk women. They're actually all currently the main breadwinners in their family.
Yeah, that's what happens, right? Yeah.
Like, so, yeah,
Yeah.
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 mhm.
They're working.
But I just, for me, it's like, first of all, you don't know what's going on with me or my husband. But second of all, can we just like, I think women have had to work so hard to create a space where they can leave their families and just do something for 100% themselves.
Yeah.
And we need to really work at building women up
Yeah.
to and encouraging that
Yeah.
big time.
And like I think that the response that we got from our reel was very much support and love and like, oh my God, I want more of that and whatever. But it still shows that there is still that part of there's still a part of the universe where they're like the old way to think about women versus men and like that men at work all day. I'm like, ben là,
Yeah.
c'est 2025, là. Like
Yeah.
it's very rare. It's actually more rare now that the mom doesn't work. Like
Yeah.
everyone works right now. It's 2025. Welcome to 2025. Most households, everyone works. Every man for themselves. Everyone's like working to put in the pot of resources, to like create a life, So, and if you are, I think it's actually like very much a privilege to be a stay-at-home mom. Like to be honest, like
Yeah.
just not have to work that whether it is your husband that makes the money for both of you and that he's like I'd love for you to stay home. I find that that's very much a privilege, you know what I mean? And for some it's not what they want either, but like I just find like it's a beautiful thing when someone can be home and that's what they want. I find that with the kids good, like like I was raised by a stay-at-home mom, so like I get it. Although she
Yeah,
would
that's
say that she was my dad's secretary, which is
oh,
hilarious. Elle faisait les livres,
okay,
the
right. Did the
books.
books. Did
Yeah,
the
did the
books.
books. Uh,
But just also the perception that we are only there because we have nothing else to do.
right.
So like coming back to
Well,
that,
that's
because
odd.
do you know what I mean? Like no one,
Since when do moms have nothing to do? We have
like
other things.
the concept for me that we only take care of ourselves when there's nothing left on the to-do list, that for me is something that absolutely needs to go away. Like
Right. Yeah.
you need to go for your walk even when the house is dirty. You need to go, like, you need to actually do those things while there's things on the to-do list. That's actually how you start showing up for yourself.
Yeah. And that's actually on the to-do list. Your walk is on the to-do
Exactly.
list. So you're actually crossing something off
Yeah,
while you're doing your walk. Then after,
100%.
oh my God.
Anyways, I never respond to negativity on the internet.
Yeah.
But this is a whole different thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, and it's just so ridiculous that
Right.
I had to respond.
Listen, if you got to do what you got to do,
I had to.
feels
I
right.
couldn't help it.
Yeah. You couldn't help it. That's totally
Couldn't help
fine.
it.
Um,
Want to hear
uh,
what I said?
no.
Yes, they do. I said, this is hilarious. Can we have a night out to have fun? Question mark. I have lots to do. I work very hard to provide for my family. I also happen to prioritize time with my friends. Can we support women and create a culture that women prioritize themselves? Question mark, question mark.
Sure, I'm sure she's gonna have a good nothing to say or a
We'll
lot
see.
to say.
We'll see.
Yeah, no. I'm an avoider though too. I'm just like, oh my God. But kind of like my negative comment, my negative text that I got that we talked about a couple
Oh,
weeks ago. But that's like all good. And then what I had to do was reach out to someone. I was like, it's just like perfect moment. I'm in a room alone with someone that knows that person.
Oh,
Know what I mean? I'm like, do you know this person? Because I saw that they were friends on Facebook. She's like, I really do. I know him very well. I was like, oh, interesting. She's like, why? I'm like, he sent me a message that was very interesting. She's like, no way. I was like, yeah. I was just like wondering. She's like, oh yeah, that's how he is or whatever. Apparently not. Apparently
hmm.
very shocked by it. I'm like, obviously don't say anything. Don't
Yeah.
give it any attention. I was just like, it's like I needed to like understand that person a little bit more. Like what kind of person is this? Why would they spend their time sending me a message like that? And she's like, I have no clue what happened there. I'm like, interesting. Oh,
Also, it's really interesting what people will type and not like, I always say, like, would you say this to someone in their face? We shouldn't
right.
be we shouldn't be typing things that we wouldn't also like have a conversation to
Yeah.
someone's face.
Yeah. No, 1,000,000%. So do you think we're gonna get to 1 million?
I
1 million
do.
views would be insane.
I do. Okay, Jose, since we've been talking on this podcast,
I know it just
we
keeps going up.
we've had 1,000 more views.
We
1,000 more humans saw that since we started talking. That's
Yeah,
insane.
I know. I think it's like what's getting so much attention is people is it's shareable. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
It's shareable, like as in like they don't know us, and then like people started to share it and was talking Spanish, like they were like
I
writing it in
know.
Spanish and like tagging their friends. I was like, oh my God, it really got somewhere. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like people really like they enjoyed the wigs, they enjoyed the humor behind it. So that was good. I thought the bicycle one would have been more
The bicycle one
shareable.
is hilarious.
Bicycle one way more funny.
I know. Like
Yeah,
so funny. So
yeah.
funny. Do you know what I thought of every time I watched it is how you said, imagine my view of of Jillian
I think it's more funny
falling.
for us because we were there and it was hilarious. But
And
Jill
because
was like,
we had to take a break, guys. They had to take a break to go pee because everyone was peeing their pants on
yeah.
each
I was
other.
like, don't pee on me. Oh my God. Okay. I was like, go pee, come back. It was just Jillian with her freaking black wig. Oh,
Oh,
bad. And they really enjoyed Jessica's face, which was hilarious.
yes, and I
Purple wig.
rewatched it. It's good.
Yeah, no, but it's they just like really connected to it. I was like, oh, bah. So that's good. That's how you never know. You never know. You can make a million videos and you're like, oh, this is good. And that was not hard for us to do. And the editing was quite easy. Like, you know what I
Uh,
mean?
so what's next now? Do we all get together are we
Right.
literally
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was hard to get us all together just for that weekend. I don't think because we have nothing else to do.
It's so true, eh? Like, I wish you guys could have seen the moving parts of
Like getting everyone
10
there.
moms and
Yeah.
activities and children and
Yeah.
responsibilities and to prioritize that time with each other.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't easy.
No,
Okay, so speaking of, okay, well, last week we talked about accountability. I think that was like really good. I was thinking about it and I'm like, I feel like we're clarifying what it is and also helping. So our program that we just kicked off today, you guys. So we'll put the link if you want to join us because really the first accountability video starts Wednesday, July 2nd. And
but
I
today's video is like me. That's like I'm gonna be like
yeah, this is what
getting set up. This is what you need to do. This is when your coaching sessions are. This is how you fill in the template. Like really organizing.
So at the end of the day, it's an accountability buddy, yeah, an accountability program where you like show up for yourself and we tell you what that looks like. So we're like, okay, to show up for yourself, you watch 2 videos a week. You send an email to team. You know what I mean? You fill out your template. And that is like in simple form how to keep yourself connected. Because what we wanted to do was create this for our members. Obviously, like our members that are always members, it's like how can we keep them not overwhelmed in the summer? Because like it's really important for us all year for you not to be overwhelmed with your life, with what you need to do at your weight loss. And sometimes you need a little bit more of a like, this is what your focus is, because if we don't in the summer, we're like, well, I can't be losing weight right now because I don't want to and I want to live my life. But this is a way for you to just like keep that conversation going and be accountable to yourself for 8 weeks. So
Big
if you're feeling like this is for you, then join.
So I was thinking about our conversation last week and about
Okay.
like what really accountability really means to
Right.
me. And I had read this somewhere or heard this, and this really stuck with me.
Okay.
And to me, accountability is 100% ownership of your choices,
Okay.
regardless of your environment.
Okay.
So it really is basically owning choices, regardless of your circumstance, the resources that are available to you. And you know what? We're going to have a conversation that is going to maybe, I don't want to say upset you guys, but within the membership, we're going to talk about excuses. We're
Mm.
going to say these things out loud with the goal of breaking through some ways of thinking that you're currently thinking that is actually what's holding you back from having success.
Yeah, I think if you're only spending your time, noticing, recognizing, or using or using the excuse of the resources you do not have, there's no space left for you to actually recognize the resources that you do have and what you could have done with them. Um, Ultimately, I find that like taking ownership, I love that feeling. Like, I don't understand. I would hate the feeling of feeling broken or not in charge or whatever. So sometimes I don't connect to people that don't like that feeling. I would hate to always feel like a victim.
I think it's scary for people because it's saying out loud, if I
I didn't
don't
choose
do
it.
this,
Yeah.
it's on me. Like
Yeah.
it's really putting yourself out there and being like, I did this or
Yeah.
I didn't do this. And I think that's scary for people, but I'm the same with you. Taking
Yeah.
ownership is the most empowering thing
Yeah, it
I've
feels
ever
good.
done.
Yeah, it feels
Yes.
good. I really do feel like it feels good. We're not talking bullshit here. And I don't know, like maybe we were always kind of, maybe that's a little trait from whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to stay on a path that doesn't allow me to like, not control, but like choose. Like I don't want to live in a state where it's like, oh, yet again, I didn't do the right choice. No, why did I make this choice? I wanted that. Why? Why am I not doing the things that I say that I want to do? Why don't I feel aligned? What resource is missing? But also what excuses am I like always using? And what distractions am I putting in my on my plate? Because guys, like, oh, bah. If there's anything I'm noticing about human beings, is how we just like we're just distracted and pretending like, well, this is a real thing in my life that I cannot like. It's like, no, there are options. There are options. And sometimes you'll have a really good friend or someone that's just gonna like, they're not because it's on you, right? But it's like, but you know that this could be an option, and you're like, no, hey, it's not an option. Okay, well, recognize that there was one and you didn't want it, and that's fine as well. You know what I mean?
And you don't have to just own the bad choices,
No,
guys. This
yeah,
is
yeah,
this is all inclusive. And I work on this language a lot with people when they're almost like diminishing their like successes or their choices.
yeah.
They're like, yeah, but like, and they list all the reasons why that was easier for them. I'm like, no, pause. Like, pause. Own that. Like head held high, shoulders back, like own all of your choices. So this isn't just a
When your life,
bad, this isn't like a sad, oh, I guess
yeah.
it's my fault. It's like, I did that.
Yes, yes. It's not like own just the shitty things that you might, choose to do. And I think that it's just a learning process. Like we're just learning who we are. And like as we make choices, it's like, oh wow, like, I did that, or why am I like this? And wanting to, it's not about wanting to be better, but just like wanting to grow and evolve a little bit and be like, oh, like I recognize this about myself. I didn't really enjoy that feeling, and I'm gonna have my back. So that's also like a lot of self-love, a lot of like self-reflection, like just like really having your back and being, your own little cheerleader and being like, okay, like I want this and I am capable. But we haven't created that culture yet. Like it's very much like I need other people to hold my hand. What will people think? But we're trying. We're trying, you know what I mean? But
Oof.
it is such a beautiful life when you're just free from all of that and you just get to like kind of foncer, like I want
It's
this and I'm going for
it's
it.
freedom, it's empowering,
Yeah.
it's mental clarity. Like it's
Yeah.
not exhausting to be in your own brain because you just see, and honestly, I see when I look at a situation, I see open doors, I see a little bit doors, and the doors that are closed, I just keep looking for the
Yeah.
other doors. Like
Yeah.
two different people, the way they perceive situations is so different. And when you
Yeah, we
start to be accountable, that's what you start to see is the doors that are open or ajar.
like your perception is like your job. Like it's on you. Like your the way you perceive things is you can switch that up with just a little bit of a different want. Just like I don't want to feel that this shitty. How can I change my perspective? But like you're literally in charge of your perspective.
I just remembered that I need to do something really quick and then I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
come right back.
Okay.
But while I'm gone, will you tell them about the thing that you read from Tom about perspective and
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I'll just
right?
yeah. Before I get to that, I just don't want to forget this thought that I when I do my conferences, I talk about leadership a lot and but I talk about mindfulness and having a leadership role in your personal life. And I think that what we need to realize, you guys, is that we have different roles and different like hats that we wear different responsibilities, and a lot of us, maybe you're not in a leadership role like at work, or you're not in a leadership role at home. Maybe I feel like you're a leader the minute that you're a parent, but maybe you're not a parent and you're in a relationship and you're not typically the leader there. The other person kind of leads what's up. I just want you to know that we're all leaders of our lives. Like you are the leader of your life. You are a leader. And the minute that you don't kind of see that, you tend to kind of follow suit and kind of become a follower, which you are a follower in different things, but like not your life. Like, but it's hard. Like it's easier said than done. There are so many things yet that I have not done because it's like, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to get out of that. I just am very inspired by people that really just do what they want. Like they really just go for it. But I'm just a baby in this journey of like really taking charge of how you want to live your life. Okay, so Tom sends out a blog every Tuesday, and he had mentioned this in our 7 hour Zoom calls that we have. So I know of Tom a little bit, but he had just said, I because I asked him like, have you always been this way? Where he's not oppositional, he's just very much like not fooled by cultural, not demands, but like following what the culture kind of like wants you to do, whatever. He really does what he wants to do.
He's like open to thinking differently.
Yeah, yeah, he's open to being like, I don't want to do that. We'll do this. And like everything's kind of like nothing's good or bad type thing, like nothing's right or wrong. He just said that he was like kind of raised by two different, he told me, but I forgot, but like two different backgrounds. Like, so his mom and his dad, just two different cultures. So he said, like, I'd be in one side of the family, and this is how, what success looks like, or what family looks like, or what love looks like. And then he's like, I'm on another side of a different culture, and like this is what love looks like, this is what success looks like. So he realized like, oh, so no one really knows. Like as in like there's not like this one way to be or to do things. And so for him, he really got the message as he was getting older, like, I don't know, figure it out. Like that's how he felt. Like, I don't know, figure it out. And he's like, well, I'm gonna figure out my way of doing shit. But he says, not a lot of kids have that opportunity to do that because we tend to kind of steer them the way we would like our kids to be. Like, you have to do this kind of work to be successful, or this amount of money, or whatever. Like, we just don't let them be a lot, which the internet seems to all agree on that. Like, because I follow a lot of like that kind of conversation, and we tend to just like want to push our kids towards what we feel is right, and we do it with like obviously positive intentions, and loving intentions, but it's like, oh, like that's not what I would have wanted for my kid, you know what I mean, type thing.
And I think what often happens within a household, like, is even if there's two parents within a household, often there's one that's kind of the leader. Do you
Yeah,
know what
oh,
I mean?
yeah, for sure.
And often like even though maybe the other one wasn't raised as much, but that kind of becomes the value that's more pushed out. But
Yeah,
clearly he came from a home that maybe both side, which is not as common, that like maybe there was two leaders, maybe there was really drastic perspectives there
yeah.
for kids to see.
Hmm. He said he's just, oh, and then he talked about like when you make things about yourself, if you really thought that another person's behavior was about you, like that things are about you, or another person's perspective is about you, he said, then it would be consistent. Because if it was really about you, like who you really are, it would be the same all around, depending, it wouldn't matter who's looking at you or what they're thinking. So it just shows that like their perspective of you comes from them and it has nothing to do with you because there is no consistency in people's opinions of you or what they think of you. And so I really think that like that part that I've really made peace lately, especially with all my conferences avec La Femme qui s'aime. Like I know that I've heard this before, but it hasn't hit the same of like other people's opinions is not about you, or is none of your business. Sorry, that's like obviously a common thing out there. And I'm like, oh, easier said than done. You know, it's none of your business. But we need to like kind of bring it back to ourselves and say, would you want your every little thought to be known by people? No, you're like, those are my thoughts. They belong to me. That I don't want anyone to know, like, kind of like how I feel about myself, about others. Like, ça m'appartient. That's my right as a human. I have my thoughts and I have my feelings and whatever. Well, they have a right to think whatever they want. Like, it actually has nothing to do with you. Like, it's none of your business because what you think is none of their business, you're okay with that. You don't want your thoughts to be out there. Well, it's the same for them. And so actually being really at peace with that is really important. And I would say that for your kids as well. Like sometimes like we want to know everything our kids feel and they should only think positive things about you. Well, I'm sorry. Like your kid is going to think you're a bitch one day. That's what they're going to think. Like, you know what I mean? And they might even say it to
Oh,
their friends. And you're going to have to put your ego aside because your kid has a right to think that, just like you think they're friggin' annoying too. Right. And like, so it's that piece of like, it actually, it belongs to you. And that's hard. I think it's the hardest when it's your kids because you're like, you just want them to love every piece of you and they will not because you have thought about that about your mom, that she's
yeah.
annoying, that she's the, but that doesn't stop love. Like love is not perfect. And loving relationships like you like I think Jeff is annoying, you think Neil is annoying, but we love them so much, so obviously you're going to think things that are annoying and you're going to have to like create that respect. But like one day Dia came home and she was like, I need to tell you something. And she's like, I spoke about you to my friends today. And like, as much as it was like, we had like a thing with her winter jacket and she wanted another winter jacket and she has like a million of them. I
Absolutely
was
not.
like, well, first of all, even if you wanted a winter jacket, like I don't have one today in my pocket for you to wear in this moment.
Oh my
So
gosh. Isn't that so
yeah.
annoying? I'm
Yeah.
like,
So you're gonna have to wear the jacket that is in the closet. Like
yes,
we can talk about another jacket, but like in this,
yes.
there is none.
I can't make one right now before school.
Yeah.
You're gonna
So
have
we
to
had that
choose
that
within.
moment. Yeah, you understand, right?
Oh yeah.
So, and we rarely, no, it wasn't fighting. It was more like kind of like a disagreement in this one. I was like, you're being ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't make a jacket.
Yeah.
And he just like felt bad. Dia, someone that feels really bad, really like obviously like people pleaser, like really struggles with that. And so she was like, I talked about you to my friends and now I feel bad that I did that. And I just wanted you to know, like, I can't do something without telling you. And I was like, listen, you do not have to tell me every time you speak of me to your friends. Like that you deserve to be able to have your thoughts about me. I love that you want to tell me, but I don't want her feeling guilty all day because she said something like, you know what I mean? Like if you know that you said something that you don't agree with or whatever, like we can have this conversation, but I just also don't want her to think that that's not okay talking about me because I'm like, I freaking talked about you when you left to dad.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel bad all day. So I
Yeah.
feel like she needs to realize like that's totally normal. And I also said, like, I'm so happy you have friends to
Yeah.
talk to about me.
Yeah.
Because like that's a privilege. Like, not everyone has like people to be like, know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I'm really happy you want to share that with me. I think that and then I told her, I give her the example, like, you know that sometimes I'm like, oh my God, Mamilia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like and I said, but you also know how much I love her. And like it
Yeah.
doesn't change our relationship. But that's hard because it's our kids. And you're like, don't talk about me. I'm perfect. But it's like, no, you're not. And
I-
I think that that's,
it's really hard.
yeah.
Taking what people think of you. And you and I are in a position where more people see us and
And tell
people
us.
and tell us. Do you know what I mean? And like, so that's taken time. And like,
Yeah,
I
like
recently
people
had
literally
someone,
say to us, I don't like your hair.
yeah, I mean, don't get them started on my eyebrows.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like they'll
Um,
say that to us. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just, we don't just make up negative shit about us. It is said to us, so you
I
have
recently
to,
had someone say something negative to me and I have to like work through it. Do you know what I mean? Like I would love to be like, yeah, I don't care, but I do care. And I'm replaying it and I'm like asking myself, is that true?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. And that's okay.
is
Mhm.
that my truth?
Yeah. Yeah. And
You
that's
know?
okay. Yeah. And I
And
think that
I
yeah, that's a part of growth as well. But you have to have such a good relationship with yourself to be able to be like, okay, let's talk through it and not just like take it in as like the truth or it's right or whatever. But
or wrong.
yeah. I don't
You
know
know what
where
I
this
mean?
came from. Oh, it was just basically that ça leur appartient. It really is none of your business. Just like I wouldn't want my every thought to be out there. Like it's none of your
Yeah.
business. This is me.
Yeah.
Like I'm allowed to have my thoughts. But once you see it that way, you're like, you're right. And I say that I'm like, you could not like my outfit tonight. You could not like, maybe the way I speak or whatever, but like, and I'm not hurt by that because ça t'appartient. Like you have a right to think whatever you want to think of me. However, I go to bed with what I think of me. And so I need to be working on that. And then you need to, but ultimately, I don't think anyone's really thinking much. Like, I like I like the message from Gary Vee. Like, he says it all the time, like, no one cares about you, which I know hurts, but I'm like, no one, like, really, like, as in, like, people continue on. Like, but
Everyone's doing their own stuff.
yes,
Everyone's the main character of their own movie. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So like
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're just also going to start to exhaust yourself if you're doing things or showing up in a way
yes,
just in case or what would people
yeah,
think? And honestly, this really ties back to
yeah,
that whole like accountability, like
yeah,
that
yeah,
self accountable. Like, are you accountable to you?
yeah, yeah.
Like, are you
I've
showing
had
up for you?
Yes, I've had a friend recently who was like, because I recognize right away when someone's doing something out of the ordinary in regards
Yeah.
to their culture or what our society typically does, whether it's like they downsized and it's like, why are you selling your home? And I'm like, good for you. Like you want to simplify your life. Like you're doing something that feels right. If that's what they're sharing with me, like we're doing that because I'm like, oh my God, I see it. That's so cool. So twice now, someone has shared like, we're doing this and all we're getting is like, what? You can't do that. You can't, whatever. And I'm like, and she's like, two of them were like, you're literally the first person that's like, well, this is fantastic news. Like, what are you guys gonna do with your time? Like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And so I was like, I really see, I've always like been attracted to that, like people that do things differently, but it's like we still live in a culture that's like, man, no, you can't retire at 40. You can. Like if you are done, if you want to sell shit, if you don't want like you can do whatever. Know what I
I
mean?
think that's like so important is
Yeah.
that people see that actually you can. Like,
You
I
can.
wish I could do that. I mean, you can. Like, do
Yeah, you
you
can.
want to do
Yeah.
what it would take to get there is a different conversation, but like
Yeah.
you can. Like, we need to start looking at the world a little
Yeah.
differently.
And if you have a friend that's doing something that you're like, well, this is not odd behavior, but not out of the normal behavior, be supportive. First of all, it changes nothing in your life. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, well, that's awesome. Like so cool that you guys are making that change or whatever. We're just so used to like we work and then we do this till we're 55 and then we whatever. Oh my God, Milo did not expect him. Okay, we got less than a minute. Guys, we're putting the link to joining our 8-week accountability program. It is very easy. All the info, send us a message anytime if you've missed all the info, but it's all out there. Hopefully, we'll see you inside the membership and we'll spend summer with you over here once a week, every Monday, and
Be so
Alicia
fun.
on Friday. So fun. Okay, have a great week, you guys. Bye. Oh,
Bye.
happy Canada Day tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, fun.